We are two besties who are definitely obsessed with each other, and we are also obsessed with empowering you to become the CEO of your healthy lifestyle.
In 2021, we launched
Vedgecation!
to share our enthusiasm for plant-based living with the world. Veggies, education. I'm your host, Brittany Jones. This is my friend, Leiah.
When my health took a turn and I couldn't get any answers, I found the solution in the food that I ate. I went plant-based long before it was cool.
Speaking of answers, if Leiah is the unofficial expert, I'm definitely the ask-spert. Since I was flexitarian in 2018, my hunger for learning about plant-based living has only grown.
A healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be boring. We're spicing things up and finding so many reasons to laugh every day.
Stay tuned to the show you didn't even know you were missing. You just might find yourself Vedgecated. What does that mean?
Guess you'll just have to watch the show to find out. Welcome. You are watching your favorite show with your favorite host, Leiah.
And your other favorite host, Brit. You are watching Vedgecation.
Whew, we're back.
Woo, we are.
And we are talking
Looks
about...
like we never left because we're still wearing the same shirt.
You know what? We only have a few shirts, okay, guys? We got to cycle through them. We got to try out new colors. We'll probably order some more before we film again. So, you know, we're just trying to find the best for you.
Yeah, we want to do a crop top, a drop top.
What's a drop top shirt?
I don't know, a hoodie?
Anyways.
We're figuring it out.
Yes, a hoodie. We are talking today about how you transition into whatever you identify as. Is it plant-based? Is it vegan? Is it plant curious?
Is it vegan adjacent, vegan conscious?
What's the one you do? Flexitarian?
Flexitarian.
You know we don't discriminate here. If you eat broccoli, you can watch this show. If you don't eat broccoli and you eat green beans, you can still watch the show.
And if you've been watching this show, and watching this show, and listening to her and me for a long time, and you've reached the pinnacle moment of your life.
That you want to go vegan?
You're like, ready to do it.
Or plant-based?
What do I do?
Woo!
We're about to tell you.
First of all, we're going to need you to get rid of all your friends. No, I'm kidding.
But you might.
But seriously. You definitely need to make an announcement on Facebook.
Oh my gosh, this is going in the absolute wrong direction. But I think the point that you're trying to make is you do need to create a community.
Correct.
Like, it is hard to...
It is.
I just feel like life is just generally hard.
People laugh when I tell them to get a plant-based sponsor.
Because it sounds like they're alcoholics.
Correct. But I mean, it's hard in these streets, you know? Like, if you want cheese, it's a real bad craving.
I bet you people do be fiending when they go from eating all the stuff to
My
not eating
brother
stuff.
literally comes over with blocks of cheese and just eats them. And I'm just like, I don't remember ever being about that life, but I know that I was at some point. Yeah.
Just eating blocks of cheese.
Can you
like
imagine?
It was nothing.
And did you poop?
Um,
I don't think you did.
well, when I did, it was not good. It's not a fun experience.
It was probably like a brick of cheese coming out, right?
A block of cheese, little cheese pebbles. Not good.
Yeah, no, that's not what we want the poop to look like.
No.
Watch the poop episode.
Yes. We should do another poop episode. I could talk about poop all day.
We really could. I could too. But so you're talking about transitioning over. You want to start making changes. It's important that we are not an all or nothing crowd here. We don't work in foreverisms, okay? Meaning you don't have to say, I'm never going to eat this ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. You get to make the rules. No one else does. We are all about empowering you to what feels good for your body. So if it feels good in the beginning to go from eating meat every day to eating meat twice a week,
Do that.
that's still moving in the right direction. And also I want you guys to start with the foods that you love and recreate them. So if you've been really good about making menus at home, right? Let's say one day you had a sloppy Joe, next day you guys had burgers, next day you had some sort of pasta. Recreate those dishes in a plant-based manner, but I do want to make sure that you are, focusing on getting enough protein in while you're transitioning over, because a lot of times people will A, not get enough calories, and B, not get enough protein.
Or C, get too much fiber.
Correct.
And then you're tooting and pooting all over the place. And maybe that's how you lose your friends.
Brit's been tooting and pooting all over the studio today. So again, some of us are just a little tootier than others. But while you are transitioning, we're going to give you some really helpful supplements that can ease some of that gaseous tension.
I know.
Yeah.
And as you think about building that community, we're going to talk about some of our favorite plant-based influencers that you can start to think about following. Number one, the most important, is Vedgecation.
100%.
Okay?
Yes.
If you're watching now, you found us.
Coach Leiah R, that's next.
Coach Leiah R has a fantastic community
Yes.
of amazing humans.
Yes.
I met a lot of them at the retreat. They will lift you up
They will.
and not tear you down.
100%.
I love it.
And then the Vegan 8, Brandy, we love you. Her recipes are so easy. I mean, she makes a chocolate ice cream from sweet potatoes. If that doesn't say she's a wizard, I don't know what does.
And the name Vegan 8 means all of her recipes have 8 or fewer ingredients, right?
Most of them.
Most
She
of
has
them.
now transitioned to doing some with a couple more ingredients. So she's changed over the years, but again, her recipes are really simple, easy to follow. And I think you can find all the ingredients pretty, no matter where you live.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
All right. Who else are we thinking to find that community of plant-based
I would say
influencers and
Tabitha
experts?
Brown is also another
I
really
love
good
her.
one, just because she puts forth a lot of food-related content, right? So we don't want just influencers who are vegan. We want ones that specifically share.
Focus on the food.
Yeah, focus on food, focus on recipes. Again, Brian Turner, we talked about earlier, he's got a lot of really great high protein recipes because he's focused on higher protein bodybuilding specifically. So if you have been on a really high protein diet thus far, you don't want to go to straight carbohydrates. You are going to feel like crap.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge transition.
One thing I love about Tabitha Brown, on top of all the great recipes, is like her energy.
Yeah.
When you talk about like creating your own vibe, surrounding yourself with a community that's going to support you, I just feel like, Tabitha, I want to be your friend, girl.
We both want to be your friend, and we want you to come up Vedgecation. Or if you have a show, we're happy to go there.
Yeah.
Too.
Just have our people have your people call us.
Correct.
We are the people.
Okay, I think we're going to take a mini break.
Yes.
Then we're going to come back.
And we're going to have some best practices, some
Yes.
tips, and some ways for you to get in that protein as you're transitioning from your old lifestyle to your vegetated lifestyle. We'll see you in a bit. Next is going to be easy ways to get protein.
Yeah.
Okay. Not beans. Beans. Good for your heart. The more you eat, the more Leiah farts.
Let's be clear, there is one farter in the room today, and it is not April, and it's not me. Welcome back to Vedgecation. We are talking about easy ways for you to get your protein in as you're transitioning to a more plant-based lifestyle. So I see this as one of the biggest things that people get stumped on, is where to get consistent protein in as they start to switch over, right? Because they were eating eggs before, they were eating chicken, they were eating fish, they were eating beef, they were eating
All the protein.
all the proteins. So how in the heck can you do it with plants?
You're going to have to figure it out, but I just asked Leiah.
Yeah, just send me a DM. That's fine. All 974,000 of you. It'll be fine. I'll get back with all of you because
974,000?
it's a very
really
specific.
specific number.
I mean, if you don't speak it, it's never going to happen.
Preach. Lentils.
Lentils?
I know that that's one.
Lentils to me, so lentils I think are, of all of the beans, they're one of the more easily digestible beans. So these are not, you're not going to find lentils in a can typically. You're going to have to soak them and actually cook them. They do take longer to cook, but I love having just a big pot of lentils ready because they're going to be higher protein and they're really filling because they're fiber content.
So what is the major difference between like why lentils are easier to digest versus like regular beans?
Well, again, I think that a lot of people will eat the beans from the can. I think beans from the can are going to be harder to digest because they've been sitting in a can, which of course is going to have some chemicals in there. But even if you get dried beans, the hardest thing with beans is we don't know what their shelf life is. So we don't know how long those beans have been sitting in those bags. So that's one of the things. I love getting my beans fresh from a farmer because you know that those are fresh beans.
How is a farmer growing beans? Like a beanstalk? That's real? It's not a fairy tale from childhood?
Oh, Brit.
I'm about to look it up because I did not know you could grow your own beans. I'm about to set this beans off.
Where did you think beans came from? Was there like an animal that drops beanlets?
I mean, I just thought...
Like there was a bean and you kill it and then you get to keep the bean babies?
I mean, I just thought that they were...
Did you think that Beanie Babies back in the day had beans?
There's a part of me that maybe thought they were like naturally occurring and you just like... I don't know, okay? And you said Vedgecation is not a judgmental place. And I'm feeling really judged right now because I didn't know beanstalks were real.
I just never... Your questions never cease to amaze me.
Well, you're welcome. I like when you're amazed.
So anyways, beans.
Good for your heart. The
Yeah.
more you eat.
The more you do.
Yep.
Okay. So why would beans maybe not be the greatest, right? Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas.
Chickpeas too?
What?
Are not the greatest?
No. Beans are amazing.
Okay.
But why as we're transitioning, why would they maybe not be the best choice?
Because they make you fart.
Correct, because they're harder to digest sometimes, especially if we're not used to the amount of fiber that we're now getting from lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, adding in beans. If we're trying to couple that with grains to get a complete amino acid, we may get into discomfort.
The body might go into shock like, I don't even know how to handle all this nutrient goodness.
Yes.
Help me.
So, Beyond Meat, again, I am not a proponent of long-term use of, using plant-based meats, but while you're transitioning, I think it is a great segue into learning how to eat more plant-based. So I would say if we have beans for lunch, right, like lentils, beans, or tempeh, tofu, then for dinner, if you want to do a plant-based meat because that sounds really good to you and it's been part of your daily habit for many, many years, that might be a great segue.
When I think about meat substitute, one question I have, prepare to be amazed, it might be an
I'm gonna love
interesting one. Walnut crumbles, like walnut meat, is that a good source of protein? Is that a good idea as a transition food? How do we feel about walnut?
I think walnuts are amazing. I think that the fat that it provides, again, is gonna be great for your brain, great for your skin. The problem is walnut is not a protein per se. It is a primary fat. So, you're getting a little bit of protein when you eat it, but the main source that you're getting nutrient-wise is fat.
Okay, so not a good source of protein.
Correct, no.
What else would we think about for like transitionary type of foods to get a lot of that protein in?
Yeah, there's a brand called Abbott's, which I really love. It's a pea protein that uses olive oil and just spices, really clean ingredients. I love that. They have a chicken and a chorizo and a beef. So Abbott's is really good. There is Plant Boss. That's another really good, clean one. You can make homemade seitan. My husband makes incredible seitan. It's going to be very, very low fat with really high protein. So it's like 1 gram of fat for 20 grams of protein. So if you have no problem eating wheat, that would definitely be, probably my top just because I absolutely love it.
Well, you missed one. And you missed my favorite one.
Tofu.
And for that, I am no longer your friend.
Is it tofu?
No, it's the Better Bagel.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how I missed this because I eat them at least once.
They are so good.
So the Better Bagel has 26 grams of protein coming from pea protein, very limited ingredients, and I do eat at least one a day.
It's probably my favorite thing that you have introduced me to that is plant-based. It is obnoxious how much I enjoy them.
We're going to keep talking about the Better Bagel in just a minute. We're going to take a break.
You want me to bring it back in? Or you want to bring it back? I took it out.
Okay, then I'll bring it in.
You're being a real dick today, you know that?
Because you never fucking feed me, bro.
I think we're about to take a lunch break.
Yeah.
Calm your tits.
They're calm.
3, 2.
So other than the Better Bagel, what are the other best practices for like transitioning out of the old into the new Vedgecated you?
Yeah, I think everyone goes for supplements. Like their vitamin B12 is automatically going to plummet on day 3. And no, that is not going to happen. It is not.
Is that a real fear that has been expressed?
Because they say all the time, you know, vegans have a hard time getting B vitamins, which is true.
Yeah.
They come from animals. But if you're eating a well-balanced, rounded diet and your gut is good and you're absorbing all your nutrients, that shouldn't be an issue. But I think the biggest thing is under eating, and then, you know, just not knowing what to eat. It's so kind of mind-boggling sometimes, right? When we think of like, what does a vegan eat? And a lot of people go,
Fruits and veggies.
I don't know.
Lettuce.
But they never kind of go to that place. So making sure that you understand what's my minimum number of calories that I need to be taking in per day. And you can do that by calculating your basal metabolic rate. There's so many free calculators online. And we were talking before, right? Let's say your BMR is 1500.
Sounds accurate.
Yeah. So if hers is 1500, then no matter if she doesn't move all day, her body is going to burn at least 1500 calories.
Okay.
But let's say we work out, and let's say we walk 10,000 steps, right?
You're burning more because you're active. So let's hypothetically throw another 1,000. Now I'm at 2,500.
Correct.
What does that mean? I got to eat 2,500 calories a day to stay.
If you want to maintain your exact same weight, yes, you're going to have to eat that. If you'd like to be in a slight deficit, then, you know, but again, people don't do slight deficits. They go
all or
balls
nothing?
to the wall or
Yeah.
nothing. So I see people coming to me all the time. They're like, oh, I was weak on a vegan diet. And I'm like, oh, you were eating 1,100 calories a day.
Not enough.
Not enough. Even my husband, right, who is a very large human, he has trouble eating the amount of calories he has to eat.
You talk about that man like a giant Santa Claus.
He's the best. The best.
I had a question about something you said about the fiber and how, like, if you're not used to so much of that intake, it can affect your body. But then you said there was something you could do to help your body more easily digest it.
Yeah, digestive enzymes are going to be the best.
Okay.
It's going to be helpful for your liver. It's going to wake everything up on your taste buds. It's so, so good. So Quicksilver has a liver sauce, which essentially you let sit on your tongue. Sounds weird.
It does.
And it is going to be bitters, right? So bitters are really great digestive enzymes, and a lot of people don't utilize them, but I think they're coming back in style. But you do need something while you're trying to transition. If you have been eating 9 grams of fiber a day and the average, let's say, plant-based person is eating 60, your body's gonna be like, whoa,
Yeah.
hold up, Nelly, what's happening?
I hope my body doesn't call me Nelly. But I feel you.
I don't know. Nelly just sounded nice. I think it is, in my opinion, it is a very controversial way to go, and I don't love any of my clients counting every single thing that they eat, but I do think it's a great starting place for people to understand the human body and understand proteins, fat, carb, how many calories do I just need to survive, and then how many do I need to be eating to make up for the activity that I'm doing throughout the day.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand because you are going from one lifestyle to another. And so whenever there's change, I do think it's important to kind of just level set with yourself. So, you know, as always,
You're feeling Vedgecated! Okay, so we have come to another end of our episode, and while we are sad to see you go, never
we like
fear.
to watch you leave.
Also that, but we'll be back with a new episode soon, so just wait. We're totally bingeable.